Is it normal to have a constant itch in your eye? Actually, never mind. I doubt that there's another Mossman or woman capable of entering me. What I need is a Moss doctor. A Mockter. I should probably make a greeting at this point, shouldn't I? Then again, I have no idea if someone hears my wails anyway. But I find it therapeutic to speak as if they are sentient beings. It helps me cope with the loneliness. Don't get me wrong, I love this solitude. But sometimes it becomes too much for me. But it sometimes becomes too much for me. Man, this itch is really distracting me. Maybe if I stare into the sun long enough, it'll burn away. Let's just hope that my eye regrows too. Or at least my optical organs. If you can call them organs. You'd think a man of Moss would be okay with the heat stone, as I quite literally taste the sun for a living. I will tell you now, it's free real estate. Just grow in a secluded spot and exist there. So, do bring a mirror or something so you can at least talk to yourself. I mean, I do it without a mirror, but I think it would help to actually see someone existing in front of you. Ooh, that's a big itch. That makes me think of existence in the first place. You've probably heard it all before. If a tree falls and no one's around to see it, did it really fall? But isn't that robbing the tree of its existence? Or its right to exist? Think about it. Maybe a couple of years later we profit from the nutrition the tree gave with its essence. Who would we be to deny the tree of its being yet still rob its grave? Though, not to say that we need to consider all trees that have fallen or recognize all the ones lost, of course. I just find the quote a bit vexing. I might just be projecting myself onto the tree. If I cease to exist, would I ever be considered to exist? A tree would at least leave something behind. I can't say the same for myself. Man, I wish I could rub my face against this rock to stop the itching. Sorry, I lost myself for a moment. Where were we? Ah, yes. Cease to exist, or in other words, death. I know I must go one day, but I want to achieve greater things before that. No, it's not that I want to do greater things. It's that I want to achieve more things. It leave a bad taste in my mouth to return to the earth like this. When I was talking about the swivel chairs, I at least was a spaceman for a little while. Even though the only thing I was really was a snack. But it does make me think. You know? I did so much with my crew at that point. Like, for my being, had already fulfilled a good life. There were many things that I did. There were people that I knew, and there were people that I knew that were there when I died. And they ate me, or drank me, however you want to call it. But that is still something that I achieved, that I've done. But laying here and existing for the sake of existing, well, no, that isn't it either. I want to be selfish, but not in life. I want to be selfish in death. I have no idea how I'd live my life. But I do know that I want to be satisfied in death, as I was when I was thinking about space. I have no clue how I'll achieve that, but I do have a goal now. So I guess that's something. Man, the moon really takes it out of me. Sometimes I just lay here and like be angry at the sun. Or angry in general. Or tired. But I don't know. It's the night that brings me alive. It really soothes my being. And I love just looking at the moon and the stars, shining up there, kind of in the position where I am. I mean, they turn around and round and round. The moon, that is. I don't know about the stars, since those are also suns, and the sun kind of just spins, I think. I'd have to see it for myself one day. Maybe, preferably without being turned into mush. That'd be great. Now that I think about it, maybe this itch is a sign of my resolve. A trowel of some sort, bestowed on my seeing hole. Now that I've crossed the first step, how will I continue? I can't move much, but then again, real freedom doesn't exist. You are mostly as free as you make yourself. At least in my opinion. But I'll explain that a little later. It usually is the question of how far am I willing to go within your situation that doesn't give you freedom, that doesn't give you the freedom you desire. As long as I'm laying here, I am free to think, which is why I think that. Maybe too much, but I can stop and sleep. I'm also free to do that. I can choose to dream, choose to sleep, choose to close my eyes, choose to behold the moon. I think there was this guy called Sisyphus who was punished by the gods to roll a rock onto a mountain. But as soon as he got to the mountaintop, the rock would just fall. Because you can't, or he can't, stop the rock on the mountaintop. Which I think is actually possible. But that's a matter for another tangent. But some might say that Sisyphus is happy while doing it. Because you can't change things that happen to you. They will just happen to you regardless. But what you can change is how you think about them, or at least how you take them and how you react to them. Like how I am now, laying here. Like I said, I can behold the moon if I want to. I can also look at the leaves. I can focus on myself. I can meditate. I can do so much while also being able to do so little. Even if I would be able to leave my cave, what then? I'd be free, yes. But who knows? I might even want to see space. Or past that. And when I'm at the past that, what if I want to see past that? Is there even something there at that point? Then what is it inside of, or what does it grow in? It's all of these questions that just makes me think of freedom, right? Because I probably won't be able to go to the edge of the universe. I don't have that freedom. What I do have instead is the freedom to try. Though I know knowingly might not make it or will not make it with the current state of being as I'm latched to this rock. I am free to try. All I'm trying to say is that freedom is pretty subjective usually. It's just like death. It happens. It takes our freedom, or at least inhibits it, since it's something we all must go through. And the same goes for life. Most of us didn't ask to be put here, on this plane, on this space. And if you did, I want to know how. But there's something. But from our life till death, we are free to live it. We are free to live it how we want to. Death doesn't stop me from death doesn't stop me from dreaming, and life doesn't stop me from sleeping. Man, I went existential there. But it is nice to sometimes calm down a bit and think of these things. Think why you do them or why you think them. Like how I think about freedom and strengthen my belief in what I think. Things like this itch does stop me from sleeping, or the sun when it shines into my face. Oh man, I guess this itch is also free to take my freedom of sleep. Funny how each other's freedom could stop another's. That makes me think. I'd like to be domed by free. Maybe she'd be able to get this itch out of my eye. It's almost as if this itch is giving me little kisses. Or wait. No. Like little legs? What? What's the tiny thing in the corner of my eye? It moves! Wait. There's an anto in my eye.